your work ethic and your dedication and commitment to yourself and your vision is unique. It is, amongst the populace. It just is. So, so now you think about this. You wanted to sell storage. You develop your first building, but you didn't stop there. And I met your dad last year. I think is he one of your partners in your self-storage operation?
So my dad invested $100K into our first deal, and he didn't tell me, but he took a mortgage on our childhood home and property to make that investment. I'm glad he didn't tell me, or I would have been really, because the deal got stressful, as you read in the book. Like we had to go back and raise it. We went $500K over budget, so we had to get 25% more money from everybody who invested. We had to go back to the bank. And yeah, it was not a good deal, but do you want me to tell you how that deal ended? Or?
Yeah, please. Yep.
So 2 years ago, we bought out all of our investors at a $10 million valuation, and my dad's $125K became over $500,000, and it's a massive chunk of his net worth today. So really proud of that.
You got to be very proud of that.
But I went from dinner to raise that money. I went from dinner to, my dad wasn't in a country club. He didn't have a bunch of rich friends. So I went from dinner table to dinner table, to see 50 people, and they were the wrong people. They didn't actually have the money. They didn't know how it worked. Finally met a couple people through his network, an architect here, a guy who owns a company over here that would pitch in $100K. And to finish out the deal, I'm proud of this. I convinced the realtor who sold me the land to build the building. I convinced him to put in the last $125K in the deal.
Well, they're all pretty happy.
Same deal with the banks. Like I went from bank to bank to bank, and almost all of them turned me down. Tompkins Trust Company, Jason Moore in Ithaca, New York. He's still there. He's still my loan officer. They still have, now they have loans with us on 6 different deals in upstate New York. But they were an amazing partner with us, and they trusted the wide-eyed 26-year-old who had no business doing that first deal.
So, but you didn't stop there. And now tell us about your latest acquisition. I love the story of
we realized really quick, just to tell that middle real quick, we realized real quick that storage was way better than moving.
Yeah.
So we bought another building in 2018, 4 more buildings in 2019 with our own cash, a couple more in 2020, raised some cash. We closed and sold our moving and storage business, Storage Squad, in 2021. That was a $1.7 million exit, nothing crazy. Me and my partner split the money. We paid out a couple guys on the team, and just went from there. Took that cash, threw it right into storage, and now we have 63 properties, and we raised a bunch more money. It's going really well. 2021, I got involved in a company called somewhere.com. They find international employees for US-based companies. I was first a customer, and they put me in front of 3, people who wanted to make $800 a month to work for a US business. And it blew my mind. And I hired all 3 of them, continued to build my company overseas since then. And then I became an affiliate partner first, talking about the business online. A year later, I bought into the company. It had really started to grow. It was doing, $250,000 a month of revenue at that point. Over the next 2 years, it really exploded, doing $1 million plus a month of revenue. When my partner called me, I was a minority partner at this time. The majority owner, Marshall Haas, called me and said, "Nick, I want to sell my business." And Andrew Wilkinson, a private equity guy, wants to buy it, $47 million. He wants to sell 51% of it. And I had kind of a turning point decision in my life. Do I sell half my equity and take almost $4 million and do whatever I want with that, or do I find a way to own more of this thing instead of less? So I spent the next 2 months convincing Marshall to sell, instead of selling to that group or whoever, to sell the company to me. And so and in that 3-month period, the revenue went up, the profit went up, the valuation went up a little bit to $52 million. But on May 1st of last year, I closed on the deal to acquire an additional 58.25% of somewhere.com. I raised $20 million from 39 investors. And I borrowed in a seller note directly to me from Marshall. I borrowed another $9.3 million. Biggest deal I've done. And that's where we're at today.